It was the chimpanzees that enabled me to reach into the hearts and the minds of people around the world through David Greybeard and Flo and all of those other incredible characters which many of you will have heard of, but probably few of you will have seen. And because they're so important in my life and have helped me to reach the stage I'm in now, receiving this great honor from this university, I want to bring their voice too into this space. And when chimpanzees are happy and excited and things are going well, they don't just say, "Thank you, I'm proud, I'm honored." They sound much better. And actually, Irvin, come up here on the platform a minute, because when chimpanzees are excited, they make sounds like this, but also This is an honor from a university that is relying on this amazing modern technology that we've been talking about. When I went to study the chimpanzees, I was taken way back in time to before even the earliest humans walked on planet Earth. And finding that the chimpanzees used and made tools was particularly exciting, because we could then imagine whole tool-using, tool-making cultures before the ones that were thought of back then, the stone tools, which are preserved so that we can see them and work out how they were used. The chimpanzees are using twigs and stems and leaves and sticks. And this was exciting. And because chimpanzees are our closest living relatives, because we differ in the structure of our DNA by only just over 1%, and the geneticists now tell us, having unraveled the chimpanzee and human genome, that it's actually the nature of the genes themselves which can be affected by experience that is the major difference. And because their blood is so like ours and their immune system is so like ours, and the structure of the brain is almost identical, it's just that ours is bigger. So there is a platform to say, okay, here we are, learning about the chimpanzees more like us than anything else, and yet how different we are. Chimpanzees they haven't developed all this modern technology. They don't have universities. So what is it that's made us so different? It's obviously the explosive development of the human intellect. What made that happen? There are various theories, but what I believe at least contributed to our amazing intellects is the fact that we developed this language that we're using today. People of different nationalities having to use English, but we could be speaking any number of languages if we use translation. And this has enabled us to talk about the past, to make plans for the distant future. This university wouldn't be if you hadn't planned it and thought about it, and above all, discussion. How many hours of discussion did you have in the creation of this university? And so here we are, arguably the most intellectual creature that's ever walked on planet Earth. And I don't think anybody would disagree that our species has developed the greatest intellect. So then how come that this intellectual creature is destroying planet Earth, our only home? And I have to believe that it's because, although we're very clever, we've lost wisdom. And when I'm talking about wisdom here, it's like the wisdom of the indigenous people who would make a decision based on how does this decision we make today affect our people generations ahead? And now we're saying, how does it affect me now, or perhaps me and my family? More importantly, how does it affect the next shareholders meeting 3 months ahead? My next political campaign, my next job opportunity. These are the kind of criteria we use. And how has this happened? How have we lost wisdom as we move into the Western materialistic world where money becomes a god? And there seems to become an increasing disconnect between the clever brain and the human heart, love and compassion. And if that's so, and I believe it is, how do we reconnect the brain with the human heart, with love and compassion? And it's the young people who are going to do this. And yes, there are some of us elders who've tried, but this shift in global consciousness, which is wrapping the young people in its arms, and the young people I'm meeting around the world today, and I'll talk about our youth program later, Roots and Shoots, but the young people have voices that seem to be so wise. And young people are beginning to understand that while we need money to live, we shouldn't live for money. And the connection between our Roots and Shoots program, which is now in 126 countries, and this university, it's so powerful and so strong. And linking young people as we do around the world with technology, but also understanding that technology alone doesn't feed the human spirit. We need nature. We need to think about understanding from nature as well as from each other.